Hello, art geeks! So, change of scenery. I am in the Portuguese countryside in a little village near Foscoa. This is where half of my family comes from. It's in the middle of nowhere and it's really tiny, only a couple hundred people live here, but it's really beautiful. The landscape has lots of hills and mountains with vineyards. It has a really old and awesome castle that has stood for over 1,000 years. And, most famously of all, this is a region of Paleolithic engravings. These are etchings made in stone over 20,000 years ago, and some are even older. The engravings became notorious over 15 years ago when people discovered their existence. Actually, a lot of people already knew of their existence, but they either didn't understand what they were or didn't want other people to find out. At the time, the government was building a dam in the river Coa, and if completed, that dam would have put the engravings completely underwater. Now, I know what you're thinking. Let's just take the rocks and put them somewhere else, like a museum. But these rocks cannot be moved. By keeping them in their place, we are conserving a site of immense historical importance. But we can't have a dam. I can tell you that a lot of people were angry that the dam wasn't going to be built. Some people said, they're just rocks. Who cares about rocks? Well, other people answered, they're not just rocks. They're an important part of our human heritage and we do care about them. So the dam was cancelled and an archaeological team started documenting and exploring the site, and nowadays everybody can visit the sites of the engravings. One of the departure points is actually here in my family's village. And we also have a museum now, which is what I'm going to show you today. You may remember that a few episodes back, in the Porto Poetic episode, I showed you the maquette of this museum's building, and at the time I told you that one day I would show you the museum properly. Well, here it is. The museum's architects were Pedro Tiago Pimentel and Camilo Rebelo, a duo from Porto. The building was designed to be perfectly integrated into the rocky landscape. It opens into the surrounding hills and river through various panoramic areas. The entrance makes a huge impact on visitors for being rather unusual. It actually feels like you are entering the mountain, a fact that is underscored by the relative darkness inside the museum. The main exhibition is meant to give a full sensory experience of rock art. The senses of sight, touch, and hearing are explored through interactive exhibits. There are plenty of videos, touch screens, installations of everything related to rock art, including soil, artifacts found around the engraved rocks, and smaller rocks that could be transported to the museum. The Coa is currently the largest known open-air site of Paleolithic art in the world, making the area a kind of open-air museum in and of itself. So the challenge was to use the museum as a complement to the visit to the actual site. In that sense, this museum does not focus on exhibiting artifacts. Instead, it focuses on telling a story to illustrate the significance of the engravings. By doing this, it also makes a connection between archaeology, art, and culture, and humanity's connection to the landscape. Besides the main exhibition, the museum also has rooms for smaller temporary exhibitions. This time it had an exhibition of surrealist photo montages by Portuguese photographer André Boto. That is it about the Coa Museum. I hope you liked this episode, and if you have a chance, please do come visit. I promise this place is worth it, even if you don't like history. Until next time, bye!